Well, I believe we are live. Got the live video here. Expand video, video logs. Video live stream set up. Public group. Why are you not set up? Unlock gig. Success. What is going on? I'm missing something there and I don't know what's going on.
If you can go, I can jump on way, or we can just go live into the group. What can we just do that? Why don't we? Let me see.
There is another option, just in case. I can pre-record this presentation if we need to, and then just upload it. But obviously, you won't get any questions.
Yeah.
That is a backup plan if we need it.
It's asking me to complete post details. What?
I'm going to go ahead and work on trying to get live in the group and then invite you guys in. I think I can do that.
Oh, 1 second. Gig.
I don't know if I can still share my screen if you do that. Can I, Jim?
It's a good question.
Because I've got my slides.
You know what I can do? Wave though. Hold. I can go. Let me go. You keep working, Grant. I'll get things set up over here, and if you can't get it, we'll go in Wave.
Yeah.
I think we might
We
be
should
live.
just have that set up.
Might be live. What?
There's a comment in the chat.
Oh yeah, just found you on PHS.
Okay.
Oh, awesome, Sean. Thank you. Yes. Well, if you are watching us on Performing Hypnosis Summit, do bear with us for a few seconds.
Sorry, maybe I guess we were live. I don't see it anywhere. Nope, that was 2 days ago. Never mind. Damn it.
The joys, you wouldn't think we'd done over 1,000 live streams.
It always happens, man. I was wrestling with 2 different webcams earlier on today, so I mean, I get it. It's it happens.
Let's see.
I'm not familiar with this program either, Be Live. So does it indicate whether you're live or not? It doesn't, does it? Or does it? I can't see any indicators telling you you're live.
Yeah, I've got one here. It does say that we are live.
Okay.
But it's I think we're live on the Performance Hypnosis page. Let me just see if I can
I
find
looked over there too. I didn't see it earlier.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're definitely live on the Performance Hypnosis page.
Ah,
So
cool.
let me
I
share
can.
that into the group.
Cool.
And we should definitely, I think if we're live there, then we're definitely live on YouTube as well.
Cool.
Let's have a look. Hypnosis.
All right. Well, Grant is doing a couple things there. Just let you know, welcome to the show or the workshop. We've got Richard Barker in the house, the incredible hypnotist. He's going to be sharing some marketing hacks and tips to help all of us become more successful. We're aiming this at hypnotists, but really, I mean, any kind of business you're in, it's going to be helpful. And really sorry for the delay. Richard.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
I think we're good to go, are we?
Yeah.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll quickly share my screen. Let me know if you can see it okay. Let me bounce over to the presentation. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So what we're talking about tonight on this presentation is powerful marketing hacks. For those that don't know me, I'm Richard Barker. My brand is The Incredible Hypnotist. I have been performing all over the world, and part of the reason why is because I dialed in the marketing and focused in on that quite some time ago. So the strategies I'm about to teach you, most of which have helped me build a global brand. Warren Buffett's quote, "It's not about how hard you row, it's about the boat that you're in." And there's a lot of misconceptions about marketing. You know, in other words, I think people think that by implementing a lot of different marketing strategies, it actually will make things harder, and there's more to learn, and there's more software and platforms to buy and things like that. But actually, in reality, it will make it easier for you if you get the right platforms, the right tools, and the right marketing in place. So the hard way is doing everything manually, rowing the boat. And the easier way is turning on a jet engine, which is what we're going to talk about in this presentation. Marketing is typically the first impression of a business. This is true. If you imagine a storefront or a bar or something that you may or may not enter, it's always based on what it looks like on the outside before you ever go in. The classic example of this is high quality shops that are selling high quality products always look nicer than the dollar store or the Poundland and things like that. So with your marketing and with your website, it is the first impression. When people are Google searching comedy hypnosis, stage hypnosis, hypnotist near me, whatever pops up, whatever your infrastructure is online, it's the first snapshot that they have of who you are and what you've got to offer. So you've got to get it right. And you've got to do a complete overhaul and a synopsis of everything you have just to make sure that it is all on point. Really important. I got a question. I don't know if, Jim, are you able to see the chat or the comments in the group?
I think, let me look.
I'm wondering if that's a possibility. If not, we can put it in the comments later. But the question is, if you had a magic wand, what are the 3 things that you would fix in your business? This question was asked to me at a networking event a few years ago. And it's really important that on your wish list, you should have a wish list of all the things that you want to do next year to improve your business, and then focus in on the top 3 things, and then really get those top 3 things dialed in so that you can pay more attention to them. It's always a good idea to write them down and to actually have an idea what your wish list is. So one of the problems that we have as comedy stage hypnotists is we learned comedy stage hypnosis by various different classes and courses. Nobody actually, though, taught us the marketing and business. So when you go on a live class, or even to a large degree the online classes, there's no one really covering the marketing of comedy stage hypnosis. They're just covering typically comedy stage hypnosis. This becomes a problem because there becomes a gap between those that understand marketing and those that don't, and that translates into gigs and money. Another problem is you have a lack of consistent leads and shows. So you're sitting there, you're a trained comedy stage hypnotist, but you don't actually have any leads that you turn into shows, or you have the leads, but they don't turn into shows. So there is a problem. There is a gap in either acquiring leads or nurturing those leads for them to then become gigs or shows. Another problem we have is a lack of referrals or repeat business. A lot of people do one show and done, or they do one show, they're never hired back, or the one show is so it's a one-off, like a convention, and they don't hire a hypnotist every year. They might go to other entertainers like dueling pianos and things like that. We really want to be in a business where we can get repeat business and we can get referrals, because most businesses, even outside of entertainment, they thrive upon referrals and repeat business, and we're no different. So if you can find a venue where you can get repeat business, then this is the best way to scale your business. An example of repeat business is being hired by the same cruise line company over and over and over again. The convincer was getting the gig in the first place, and then once you get it, you're in the ranks and files, and you just keep getting gigs. And so the marketing isn't as important because you keep getting fed the gigs. With the fairgrounds and the festival market, to scale that, you want to get repeat business. Some people have been doing the same fairs for 20, 30, 40 years. And doing a fair usually can also give you referrals for another couple of fairs. This is also the same with grads in colleges. But there is a lack of that repeat and referral business. Another problem we have is most of the calls that come into our business go unanswered. And in fact, statistically, in businesses across the world, 62% of all calls to businesses go unanswered. Our problem is definitely similar. And that's because a lot of hypnotists, we actually have day jobs, or a lot of people can't answer the phone because they're doing something else, like driving a truck, or maybe driving to a gig, or actually on stage. So a lot of these calls go unanswered, and it's a problem because if they go unanswered, you've then got homework. You've got to go back and try and recall your missed calls, and as they all stack up, it's harder to do. And actually some people don't have a system, or don't even get back to missed calls because they don't have the time, they don't have the energy to do it because they've been at work all day. So it is a problem to have a lot of missed calls or unanswered calls. Another issue, another problem number 5 is neglect of follow-up because of a lack of staff time or overwhelm. A lot of us, we don't have members of staff, or if we do, we can hire an assistant or a VA. They are worth their weight in gold. But a lot of us don't have the luxury of hiring someone. We don't really have the time. And sometimes it's just a lot of overwhelm trying to do the follow-up. So if we do get a lot of leads into our business, we then have an issue with trying to follow up with all those leads in a way that we can nurture the leads that we get. Problem number 6, everything has to be done manually. So a lot of people do all our tasks manually, involving other humans' time and money. The other human thing is a problem because we can get glitches with other humans. Time, of course, we can run out of time. And of course, money, if we're not performing a lot of shows, it just drains our bank account. So we don't actually have the money to reinvest into our business. It becomes a bit of a problem. There are some more little things that get in the way of us booking more shows. One thing is hiring a full-time marketer can cost over $60,000 a year. I would actually argue it's even more than that, but I took that statistic from the internet. Many business owners don't have the budget or the time for more marketing. And a lot of people, they have a low profit margin because they don't charge enough for their time and services. And we've discussed this one before, where people don't charge what they're worth. They don't charge enough for a show. And so the profit margin is so narrow, they can't put money back into their business. So AI, we can either love it or hate it. We can either resist it, fight it, or embrace it. And AI simplifies processes and boosts efficiency. So AI has been around for a couple of years. At the time of recording this, it's actually been around a lot longer than people realize. It was just not called AI. It was in different formats called automation, and if this, then that. But AI, a lot of people don't trust it. They don't want it in their business. They're not comfortable with it, and they don't see the advantage of being able to use AI to simplify processes. Now, if you can simplify your processes at booking hypnosis shows, you can save time and money, and you're able to scale and do more shows. And the thing is, this year in particular, Coca-Cola trusts AI. They actually did their entire marketing campaign using AI. They got some backlash for it, for not using real actors and humans and things like that. But think about it from Coca-Cola's perspective. They actually saved money. They saved time. It was faster, quicker, and they actually delivered an ad that looked like it was a retro ad and actually received a lot of positive feedback as well as the negative. The negative feedback really was only because people didn't understand why they did what they did. Another problem we have is chasing shiny objects. I think a lot of us are guilty of this. You can't do everything at once. You do need a plan. The latest shiniest thing comes out, that'll be AI or some new sort of tech or some new platform. We all rush to it. We all start working, start playing around in there. And then it becomes overwhelming because now there's all these language models, there's all these AI images and videos and all this, and it just gets confusing. Actually, before the presentation, I was asked by Jim, do you use anything other than ChatGPT? And of course, it's a good question because there's so much out there, it could actually become overwhelming and confusing. So you have to really focus on one and just get good at one, and then understand the strengths and weaknesses of the other ones to prevent you from chasing the things that are the shiniest. So there is a protocol, the Hypnotic Marketing Mastery Protocol. The first three elements, or the first three pillars of the protocol, is simply the more touch points someone has with you, the more they trust you. And that is just a given. The more you can reach out to them, the more they hear from you, whether that's social media, emails, phone calls, texts, the more they begin to trust you because they start to see you. It's a little bit like getting an email from somebody randomly. You're not really going to trust that email. You might think it's a phishing email or scamming or something like that. But if you keep seeing the brand and then you get something in the mail, and then you actually get something else, and then they have an advert on TV or on the internet or on Facebook, then it might have a little bit more validity, and then it might be treated a little bit more seriously. So with us, we've got to have at least 7 points of contact with any lead for the lead to be nurtured, for the nurturing process to turn into the lead making a decision. You can't just message them once and expect them to trust you all of a sudden. Having a centralized communication platform is enormous these days. The reason why this is important is because we've got so much inbound messages coming in. We've got all of our Instagram, Facebook DMs. We might have multiple Facebook pages with messages coming. We've got our personal profile. We've got our TikTok. We've got our Instagram. We've got our X feeds and all this other stuff. We've got messages on YouTube. And if we're doing it right, we're getting a lot of emails, a lot of calls, a lot of voicemails, a lot of texts. And so an advantage and a protocol that we promote is to have a communication hub, just have a place where everything funnels into one place. So you're not actually going around multiple different inboxes. The final protocol is whatever your intention is, broadcast it on all channels. So if you're a reasonably new comedy stage hypnotist, don't remain quiet, don't remain silent, don't hide, don't only post once a day. You want to put it on broadcast and put it on blast, because you're not going to upset anybody. You're not going to irritate anybody, because social media is free, and social media is designed for you to be able to promote your services to other people. It's to be able to broadcast your offers, your services, and what you have to other people. Contrary to popular belief, it's not about just keeping in touch with personal friends. That's how it originally started. But now imagine social media, Facebook in particular, it's a massive advertising opportunity and an advertising platform. And the broadcast element is free. And the algorithm is if you're not using it, your message only goes to a small amount of people that are your followers or friends. And on your business pages, you actually have a larger opportunity to broadcast your message to more people, because Facebook actually want you to have a business page. They want you to have a business page because it's tied into their advertising platform. So if you do advertise on Facebook, you're going to be able to get your message broadcasted to more people. So next time you hear people say, you know, I write posts on Facebook, but nobody ever sees them, or I get no likes or no comments or no shares, it's probably because your Facebook page, your business page, isn't optimized the right way, and it's not tied to an advertising channel. And so Facebook's just treating you as a small business that doesn't really do much in ways of broadcasts. This is a really detailed subject, number 3, but just know you can have more than one Facebook business page, and you need to be broadcasting to the business page first and then sharing it over to your personal page second. All right, so there's a Hypnotic Marketing Mastery Ladder, and forgive me for going fast here. We started late, so I want to make sure we can catch up on this. The Mastery Ladder is, there's 3 rings to the ladder, or rungs to the ladder. First of all, you got to attract people into your business. How do people find you, and how can you keep them? So that's the whole strategy right there that a lot of people spend time in. It's getting people knowing who you are and attracting them onto your website or onto your Facebook pages or onto your YouTube channel. The second rung of the ladder is connect. How can you consistently communicate with them? And by consistently communicating with them, how can you not let them slip through the cracks? Because unless they say no or unsubscribe, they're fair game if they actually are inside of your audience, and actually potentially you could do business with them. That's what the Facebook business page is all about. We're not talking about your personal profile now. We're talking about your business page. This is where followers are following you because of your business brand, because you're a comedy hypnotist. That's why they're following you. So that's why you want to consistently push out messages. Same with Facebook, same with emails, etc. And inform. You need to inform people how you can solve their issues. And if you think about this, anybody that hires you for a show has a problem. And their problem is they need a comedy stage hypnotist for an event, for a party, for a show, for a fairground, for a cruise ship, whatever it might be, for a high school. Their problem is they're trying to find the right person to be at that venue to get the biggest bang for their buck and to get the highest reward. That is their problem, because if they screw up and they hire a hypnotist who's no good, and they get a comedy hypnotist in front of 150 people at a show, at an event, and the hypnotist tanks and dies on stage, then they are the person responsible, because they're the person that hired the hypnotist. So the booker has a massive problem. Our job is to solve their issue of trying to book a quality comedy stage hypnotist. So I hope that makes sense. Our job is to show them that we're the best person for the job, or to have the balls to say, no, I'm not a good fit for that. Because if they start to pitch something, I had something the other day, they wanted to hire me for a show that was only 30 minutes long. I'm the wrong person for that. I'm not going to book them and take their money just to try and do a 30-minute show and know that it's not going to be successful. And I told the client my minimum is 45 minutes for the show. The person was insistent. They wanted a 30-minute show. And even though they didn't have a problem paying the money, and it was decent money, I'm not going to go and do this event down in Miami, a 5-hour drive from me actually, and just go and do that and have a chance. I mean, it can still work out, but have a chance that it might not be successful. So you got to solve their issue, but you got to also be realistic. A lot of people don't realize we're in the business of solving problems, because when somebody hires us, like a country club manager, there's a sigh of relief when they feel that they've hired the right person for the show. So those 3 pillars, the first one is attract. So we attract people by creating content and giving away content. So that would be things on your website, like, filling out surveys, downloading a PDF, doing webinars like this, doing reports. We've got to encourage and collect reviews. There's a whole strategy about getting reviews that we haven't got time to go into detail for, but the vast majority of people nowadays, they make buying decisions online purely based on reviews. And we all do it. We buy something on Amazon based upon the amount of reviews. We go into a restaurant based on the reviews of the restaurant, and so on. Reviews are critical, and the more reviews we get, the more they're likely to hire us for our show. There's a whole strategy surrounding reviews. The capture is we need to gather leads by capturing prospects. So our website, quite often websites are just there without any calls to action. All they have is a contact us page, maybe on page 5 or 6. They might have a sign up form somewhere on the website, but there's no real call to action. There's no real compulsion to compel somebody to want to become a lead in the first place and then go through the marketing machine once they are a lead. So our job to attract clients is content, reviews, and capture, because if we've got our reviews in place, we're going to attract more clients. Capturing them, obviously, we don't want them coming on the website and then not being able to find out who they were. And the content, if we don't keep creating it, there's no reason why they'd want to keep coming back. The second rung of the ladder, connect. So we need to be omnipresent and have omni channels, basically be everywhere. So if you don't like LinkedIn, then still post on LinkedIn, even though you don't like it. If you don't like other platforms, you don't have to dwell in there too much. You can auto post to the platforms, but it's not a case of whether you like the platform or don't like the platform. You just need to be where your customers are. If you want to get into the corporate market or work on cruise ships, your clientele is on LinkedIn. Your bookers are on LinkedIn. YouTube, you can have all kinds of people in your audience that potentially can book shows. I've had shows booked off YouTube. Facebook speaks for itself. There's a lot of groups that you can go to. There's a lot of association pages for fairground bookers and things like that. But in essence, nothing is off limits. You can be everywhere. The only one I don't really see much use for, other than just to get a bigger audience, is TikTok. I still do it. I don't like it. I post in there infrequently. I don't think that that matches my brand, and I don't think I'm going to get many bookings from it. But all I will do is get more followers and push them over to YouTube. So that is one strategy that you can do. Consistent, having a nurture sequence that includes discovery calls. Hypnotherapists are very good at having discovery calls where somebody can have a chat with you for 15 minutes before they even decide to book. I think it's very powerful where you quickly connect with them online and you find out what their event's about, what their budget is, how many people are coming, what the clubhouse or the event location looks like, so that you can nurture them into becoming a buyer. And a discovery call is a really good way to do it. It's reaching out and agreeing to jump on the phone and have a call, but do it face to face, not just a phone call. So do it over Zoom or something similar. Creating lead magnets, give them something useful and free. So one of the things I do here is I use AI and I'll do the 7 steps to hiring a hypnotist, or the 4 things that make your event more successful, or the 7 actions that you can take to ensure that the lighting for the event is, you give them something that is useful once you understand what they're actually planning and what they're trying to do. You don't really need to send a lead magnet off to fairs and festivals because they normally know what they're doing with creating events, but certainly people that are looking at hiring you for parties and for one-off events, it's good to give them a guide or something. Even if they haven't booked you yet, they'll find it really useful. You might be outside of their budget. They might get the lead magnet from you. And later on down the line, when they actually are the one that's organizing a company party, they might remember you and come back to you. So the last rung of the ladder is inform. You need to be able to send out your message, your brand message, and it needs to be an irresistible brand message that covers your offer. It covers who you are. So that can be a press release. That can be what differentiates you and sets you out from other people. It's something that sets you apart, whether it's media or a personal profile, that is different, that when they look at you, they go, oh yeah, that's not a run-of-the-mill hypnotist. This is someone that actually I want to pay attention to, that looks like they have something about themselves. And it takes a while to realize how to craft brand messages and how to even dig deeper into branding of your business. In fact, there are companies that charge thousands and thousands of dollars just to help you create a brand. You also need to let your prospects know who you are and how you can help. So why you're the expert, why they can trust you, who you are and how you can help. There's so many websites that don't have any video on there about who you are and how you can help. So if that's you, you want to be shooting some videos, send a link to them the next time you get a lead. And on the video, either quickly shoot one that says, hi, my name is John, and thanks for reaching out. I want to tell you a little bit about who I am, my show. So do a personal video message and how you can help them. On the inform offer, obviously create an irresistible offer, create your low offers, build up to your high offers, and then create the value ladder. There's a lot of technique around this, but in essence, if they can't afford you for your low offer, then you have to decide whether you can do business with them in the first place. But you do want to have a menu of options, and you want to have your prices transparent. So my rate is from this to this. And if you can't pay the basic entry level price, then I can refer you to a comedy hypnotist that can. And what does it involve inside the offer? But you want to make it irresistible so they can't refuse the offer. Do some media for them, do some outreach for them, see if you can get it recorded and filmed for them and toss them back the video of their event. This one works well. Organize the sound system if they don't have one, and then have the DJ that you've organized do a dance portion or a cocktail hour. You can wrap it all up into a package where it becomes irresistible for them that they're going to want to hire you. In this area here, you can get really, really creative. I've had strolling magicians, I've had mentalists as part of my offer to attract them into the package of hiring me as the hypnotist. And of course, you can set some value. Obviously, if it's outside of their budget, have other packages and other offers instead of just one price. So the first rung of the ladder we mentioned was attract. So obviously content. And you want to at least create a 30-day schedule of assets and content, batch create it, and add it to a scheduling program that can take your content and blast it out to all your channels. You don't want to be doing this manually because you're just not going to do it. You're going to get buried. You're going to be dying in the weeds. And you might start this off with good intention, January the 1st, but then it will just slowly disappear because life takes over and you won't be able to probably sustain it. So you can use AI to create the compelling content that your audience loves, and you can really do it fast and easy, and you can schedule it out. So 30 days in advance, you've actually got content that's getting pushed out. I do this every day. So I have multiple pieces of content, from videos to images to text, that goes out on my business page, but it's all been scheduled. And I only need to take a couple of hours a week to schedule it and create it. It's all done in one day. So I schedule it, I batch record it, or I make it just using AI, doesn't take long, and shoot it all out to all the channels on a scheduled basis. There's scheduling software that can do this. And then this way you can focus on life. You can get back to doing the normal things that you will normally do in life, but knowing the free social media machine is getting fed with content. And it's a game. You need to feed it, because if you ever come to advertise on Facebook, you're going to get rewarded for your posts, and it's going to drive down the cost of your advertising. You're going to want to make sure you've got ads, and you're going to make sure you've got blogs, and you can get AI to write your blogs. The blogs are designed to inform potential customers about what you offer. So it's funny because you might think people don't read your blogs, but a lot of people do. And if you make a couple of blogs a week or a couple of blogs every couple of weeks, you can get AI to write them, not just ChatGPT, but a proper AI assisted blog writer where it writes the blog. It's really specific to keywords and to content that you have told it to make. And then it respins it and it humanizes it. So you're actually writing it as if a human has written it. And by the time it's respun it a few times, it actually is a really good blog. And then it automatically uploads it to your website. You're able to quickly check it and publish it. And also it starts to form part of a book or a bigger document. So if you're not blogging, this is this is another detailed subject that we're going to cover on the actual summit. You definitely need to be blogging, because it's going to feed the search engines, but also ChatGPT and all the other large language models, they're getting their content directly from posted social media just like this, and posted articles and blogs just like this. That's how they're getting their knowledge base. You want to automate the ask and reply for reviews. There is a video I actually just posted today. If you haven't seen it, it's worth a look, where you can now just put a QR code on the back of a business card. The QR code automatically goes to your Google reviews. You can have it on the back of the card. If somebody scans it with their phone, they then write a review for you, and then AI can automatically respond to that review, because that pushes your reviews higher up on the search engines as well, is having that fast reply. So you can build into it that AI is not only asking for reviews, it can automatically send out a text message or an email asking for reviews. You can also give out your business card in person, so people can scan the QR code and give you reviews. But then you can set up AI to automatically answer your reviews, so that you actually build up your reviews, because 60% of consumers are likely to leave a review. All you have to do is ask, so you might as well automate the ask. And then, of course, most people make their buying decisions based upon the reviews that they read. This one is big, gathering leads. Forms on your website are dead. I mean, no one really fills out forms anymore. And if they do, they're a little bit old school, because a lot of them, you fill out a form and it'll say, we'll get back to you in 24 hours or 72 hours. And forms are typically just buried on a contact us page. But the better way is on your website is to have a pre-built chatbot, a chat AI, that pops up on every page of your website and starts to have a conversation with your potential customers. And it's not just one of these automated, irritating kind of chatbots. It uses all of the words and all of the phrases that you've trained it to say in its knowledge base. So when they do come on there and they ask, how much do you charge, or are you available on such a date, it knows how to answer the person, and it also knows how to attract them into becoming a lead. So if you don't know much about chatbots, the chatbots used to be just a chat widget where you entered your name and your email address and your phone number. They've really become advanced now, and you can have one chatbot hand over to another one without the person even realizing. One can just book appointments and shows, and the other one can answer questions. But all you need to know is this is an area that you really need to dig deep on next year, because your forms on your websites are dead. And I'm going to be paying more attention to this in the marketing workshop that's going to be taking place at the summit. But I actually booked a client yesterday as a result of my AI chatbot. It actually conversed with them, answered all their questions, sent them a link. They clicked on the link, they signed up, and they became a customer into my world. And I didn't have any interaction with it. So look into this one. Super, super powerful. The omnipresent bit we covered earlier on is being everywhere, is being able to talk to all of your audiences all over the place. If you guys do work fairgrounds, you'll realize everybody's on Instagram and they love to DM and things like that. So you want to be able to set up a campaign where you can send out a lot of Instagram posts for the audiences that are at your particular fairs and festivals. Same with high schools. They're not using Facebook, they're using Instagram. But in essence, you want to be omnipresent and almost be everywhere your potential audience can be. So the connect part of the ladder, of the pillars, is the consistency. It's the nurture sequences. It's building out and being able to touch the prospect through at least 7 points of contact and encourage them to jump on a discovery call with you, encourage them to watch the video, look at the newsletter that you sent them, encourages them to like, know, and trust you. Once you've got the prospect, you've got to follow up with them, because they're not always going to be in a buying decision mood. Sometimes they're not in a position to make a decision. I'm sure you'll agree that sometimes shows take months and months to book. You'll send a quote or a piece of information to someone and you think that they're just not going to book you. And all of a sudden, out the blue, they come back to you months later asking you if the date's still available. And in the meantime, they got another 7 or 8 emails from you, and they might have just reacted to one of your emails. And it doesn't just have to be emails. It can be text, it can be phone calls, and the phone calls can be automated now, just to send a ringless voicemail into their phone. so that they look and they go, oh, it's the hypnotist again. And of course, when you're sending things like this, you've already got permission to send it because they've already become a prospect, because they've already somehow entered your world by filling out the chat widget or a form, or somehow entering your space by opting in. You definitely don't want to do cold emails or cold marketing, because that does not work. And in fact, that'll actually get you into trouble. Creating the lead magnets. Don't just give them any old crappy lead magnet. Create one using AI, and you can have AI enhanced lead magnets. I don't really have time to do it right here, but in essence, if you've got a prospect on the phone on your discovery call, and you can ask them 5 or 6 questions all about their event, you can take all of that information and turn it into a report or an ebook or a quiz or a giveaway that is all about their event just by asking questions. ChatGPT and similar programs can generate a report or a lead that becomes really useful to the client, because you're going to be asking about what their problem is and how can you solve it, and what's happened when they tried to hire someone beforehand, or have all their events been a complete success, or have they had any issues along the way? And then with that information, you turn it into a lead magnet and send them the lead magnet. You'll always get the gig, especially if the price is not an issue, because you've done the extra mile. You've done something others don't do by creating this AI enhanced lead magnet. We're actually going to be creating these on the Summit workshop. So powerful. I don't want to go into any more detail, because it really is one of those secret weapons that I use that really differentiates me getting gigs versus some other people. The final pillar is branding, showing that you are the expert and that you can create incredible offers and you can be versatile. That's a deep subject, but basically, if you want more authority online, you've got to stop talking about how good you are, and you've got to be talking about the loudest about the problem that they perceive to have. So the person who is loudest about the problem is perceived to be the authority on solving it. That actually works in any situation for almost anything you're trying to sell to someone else. If you look at infomercials, and if you look at advertising traditionally on TV or Facebook ads, it's always about the problem that is perceived to be the issue, and the person with the advert is the authority on solving it. And that's no different from when we're selling our hypnosis shows. The problem is they need entertainment. The problem is they need quality entertainment. They need it to fit their budget, and they don't want to hire someone that isn't going to entertain anyone. That's really what their problem is. And you know that's the problem, because you see people out there that don't deliver a good show. And so of course you need to be the authority on solving that problem. When you're loud about the problem that they have with the confidence and clarity, people will not only listen, they'll also remember you. And like I said earlier on, some people aren't in a position to buy from you straight away. I've noticed 2-3 years down the line, when all of a sudden circumstances change and they now have the budget, they do come back. I get a lot of people that they can't afford me in the short term for whatever reason. A year or two later, they want to throw a massive party, and they come back to me and say, hey, you remember me? We spoke a couple of years ago. Now we have a healthy budget, and now we can move forward. So never give up. Right, I rattle through this super fast because I am conscious of the time, and I know that some of you watching the replay, you probably didn't know that we had a bunch of technical stuff that delayed us on the front end, but that's the beauty of the internet and live streaming. But in essence, here's some of the hacks that you can do. Here's some of the things that you can take away. Then we'll open up some questions. But you really want to create an AI discovery chat that gets more leads. And that's the chat widget that sits on your website. If you want to see a good example of that, just go to my website, incrediblehypnotist.com, and you'll see my AI discovery chat agent will start to kick in. Really useful. Definitely a way to get more leads. It engages people on your website, and it actually keeps them on your website. So those that are SEO inclined, those that understand websites and website design will know the longer the visitor is on your website, the more reward you'll get from the Google search engines and the ranks and the listings and things like that. Because if people come onto your website and bounce immediately off, That's called the bounce rate. And you don't want people coming in and bouncing off your website. You also don't want to advertise something. They come onto your website and it was clickbait, or it doesn't solve their issue, so they bounce off again, which is why when you create ads, you create landing pages that are specific to the advert so that no one's disappointed and bounces straight off. So video and AI is going to help you keep your bounce rate low, and it's going to help more people be on your website. Obviously, AI for reviews to get more clients. This is a whole strategy I'm going to teach later on. AI content creation, if you don't know how to do it, I'm not talking about basic ChatGPT prompting. In fact, the stuff I'm using doesn't require any prompting. That's the beauty of it. It's all been predetermined. So these are things like the private GPTs and things like that, where actually the prompts have already been made. So you don't have to be a genius prompt engineer. You just need to use the chatbot because it already knows it's going to create a bio or a press release or a graphic based upon the way it's specifically designed. So this removes the need for you to be able to learn how to prompt an AI chat or something that's creating something. Automating manual tasks. So next year, if all else fails, you don't want to keep doing these the manual tasks. You want to automate the things that you do now so that you can free up more time for doing those discovery calls with your clients. You want to create the targeted niche rich funnels. Obviously, Comedy Stage Hypnosis is a target funnel. Funnel is just a direct page online that sits on your website that only talks about one particular thing, like Comedy Stage Hypnosis, bar and bat mitzvahs, wedding hypnosis, things like that. They're not just a general website. You obviously want to develop your follow-up system because the fortune's in the follow-up. The relationship with your list is far better than just having a big list. They actually do want to hear from you. You want to create a voice AI that helps create the appointments for the discovery calls. More about that later on. And you want to design and develop a repeat and referral system. If you do all these things, it's going to go a long way towards getting you more shows, more gigs, more leads, and becoming more impactful. So take action. Whoop. Charles Darwin said, the most adapted species survives through natural selection. As long as we adapt to current market conditions and react fast, we're all going.
Oh. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He'll be back. He'll be back shortly.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
I tell you, I am just blown away by all the things that I am not doing.
Do you know what though? It was some great kind of topics there as well. And
Yeah.
exactly what you said, you look at it and you go, oh, do you know what? I thought I was on it, but I am not on it. You know, that is some great stuff there.
And you know, this is why Richard Barker is Richard Barker. Ah, there he is.
Yeah, he's back. He is back.
I hope I'm not like blasting you about 10,000 miles an hour, because I'm conscious that I'm trying to go so fast just to keep things going. So I'm kind of like blitzing it about 1,000 miles an hour, and I do apologize for that.
Oh no, some absolute golden nuggets. And me and Jim were just saying, it's like, you know, we think we work hard with this marketing stuff, but then when you see it like that, you're like, wow, actually, time to step it up a gear, definitely.
And you know, the thing is with some of this, just do one or two things. You don't, you know, obviously there's a list of, I don't know, 8 or 9, but you really only want to focus in on, you know, just a handful. So realistically, you can get them done. So I'm almost at the end of those slides. If I'll quickly go to them, and then we're good for questions, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course.
We've got all the time that you need. Yeah.
All right. I know we're right on the hour. So, and again, I apologize for going a million miles an hour, but normally I'd kind of slow it down a touch. So let me just see if I can finish this off. Hopefully,
yep,
you can see the screen. All good, guys?
Yep, all good.
All right. So a lot of this, obviously, we've got a lot of different things here, but it all comes down to taking action. It all comes down to implementation. You know, the $1 million ideas are only ideas until they're implemented. And then when they're implemented, they might actually make you some money. So take action. the strategy, or this is just a little giveaway. This is a strategy that I use, that if you do this, you're going to automatically get more attention. So when you're posting on your business pages, you can collect the social media posts and turn them into snippets for your newsletters. And you definitely want to be sending out a newsletter, and you definitely want to be having a newsletter sign up somewhere on your website. On mine, it's on my homepage, top left, and on Hypnotic Marketing Mastery, there's like a big banner saying sign up for the newsletter. But rather than just writing newsletters every week or every month, you can take your best performing social media posts and turn them into the snippets that you can then put into your newsletter, so that people really start to enjoy your newsletter. When you record a video, this is number 2, get it transcribed and turn it into a blog. So record the video. It's so easy now that you can just press record. You can walk around with your phone. You can do a talking head video, just talking into your phone. You can upload that content. Believe it or not, people love to look at raw, simple videos that don't need any production value anymore. Just record a video, but then get it transcribed, because all those words can turn into a blog. There's lots of software that do this really, really well. Video Tap is one of them. It will turn a video into a really nice looking blog. Number 3, take an old blog post that you may have written, extract the content for your social media post. So you're doing the reverse. If you did blog back in the day and maybe you slacked off, or even if you are still writing blogs, you can actually cut them up and turn them into social media posts, because you want to be having that 30 pieces of content every month. I actually have 90 pieces every month. So I have 2 or 3 posts a day, every day, that go out. And that's one reason why my social media ranks so high on Google. Actually, as a search term, my Facebook business page ranks number 3 on Google, which is actually really, really cool when you type in some of the search terms I'm targeting. Number 4, take your long form videos, convert them into shorts and reels. I think a lot of people know how to do that. If you've got a long form show, chop it all up into shorts and reels, because that's going to feed, again, your social media, Instagram reels. It's going to feed your YouTube shorts. 5, repurpose and be everywhere. Use a scheduling, there's a typo there, but use a scheduling social planner like Follow Up Spark, or you can use, I think it's HubSuite. There's various different ones that help you multi-publish all of your stuff all over the internet by clicking one button. So you don't want to go to all these different social media places and just keep posting to all of them manually, when you can have one that schedules it out for 3 months, and then you just let it run and it'll automatically post everything. I mentioned TikTok there. I don't really use it too much. So if you want to learn more about marketing in a slower pace over 2 days, we've got the Hypnotic Marketing Mastery Las Vegas workshop that's taking place in February, right after the Hypnosis Summit that we're all going to, the Performing Summit. And if you can, I highly recommend you stick around in Vegas and you do go to this Las Vegas 2-day workshop, because a lot of the marketing is really difficult to do when you're back at home and you do have a job and a partner or kids, or, you do have all these distractions. But one thing I've learned that's really good in person is when you have a coach and you have a mentor that's able to work with a small group. We all open up our laptop lids together. We all implement the AI lead magnet strategy together. We all get AI to write 2 blogs a day for us every day and schedule them. We all are able to create together in the room in Vegas 30 pieces of content using AI, so that you know how to use the content and you know how to use AI to produce it, so that when you do go home, you know how to do it rather than just talking about it. So highly recommend the Vegas workshop. There is another one in London if you can't make Vegas. The one in London is in January, before the Performing Hypnosis Summit. So there are 2 options there that you really want to attend if you can, to dig deeper into your marketing and really scale. The thing is about these workshops, they're all about taking action and not much about just presentation. So instead of really knowing the nuts and bolts of it, it's all about, let's just get it done. Let's just create your entire plan for 2025, create your entire strategy, so that when you leave Vegas after the 2-day workshop or the 2-day workshop in London, you've got your whole year mapped out in terms of marketing sense. So there are a couple of free gifts I'm going to give you for sticking around to the end and listening to me talk about a million miles an hour. So for showing up, you're going to give you some bonuses. I'm going to give you the complete slide deck that you've just seen here with actionable steps that you can implement immediately to boost your results. So you're going to get the slideshow. So I know some people during presentations, they try and take photos of the screen and stuff like that, or they try and watch the replay. You don't have to do any of that. I'm going to send you these slides so that you can just download them. And then in slow time, you're able to get the presentation sent to you as a PDF. So really, really helpful. The second thing is, if you want to, I'm offering a free 15-minute call to answer any of your marketing challenges, completely free, no obligation. You come to the call with one major problem. So make sure you've got this one challenge that I can solve with you and create solutions for you in that 15 minutes. There's no pitch in there, nothing like that. I just need the one problem that you have. And then together in this call, we're going to find the solutions, the tools, the stuff that we need to solve it. That is a free 15-minute call. And then finally, I have some auditing software. And what this does, it actually goes out onto the internet and it does a comprehensive report revealing your business's online strengths and weaknesses. Plus it looks at your roadmaps and then it'll actually give you suggestions to fix it. This is a really, really cool, and these do normally cost money, but this is a really cool thing that you can do. If you've never done this before, again, it's free. You can just click on the online audit and then it's going to go out there and it's going to see what your business is good at, what it needs, some of the things that you're missing. And it's at least going to give you the report as a PDF that you can download when I send it to you. And you'll be able to very quickly see some of the things that you need to implement. So either get a copy of all the slides, book a free call with me just for a marketing solution, and or get your marketing audit done. So we put in the name of your business, we put in your website, we put in who you are, and it goes out there and reaches out to the social signals, your website. It basically does a really good job of finding out who you are online, and it brings it all back into one report with some of the things missing, and then it creates some of the fixes that you can change. You can do all three of these things if you want. I did a presentation not so long ago where most people actually did all three because it's free. The offer, I'll keep it up there for a couple of days just so you have access to those bonuses. And two things, if you're watching this, you can scan the QR code. It's going to take you straight to the bonus page where you've got three things to do. One is get a copy of the slides. Two is book a call with me if you want to. And three, you can get the marketing audit report. Just scan the QR code, or you can go to hypnoticmarketingmastery.com/bonus. And these are the bonuses for this presentation. If you're watching this a few months into the future, this URL and this QR code probably will not work because there's quite a bit of work on my end to do this. But that is an offer that if you want to, you can go ahead and get these three things locked in just by scanning the QR and go into that URL and take an action. And if you do have chance, you definitely want to, not only do you want to go to the Performing Hypnosis Summit, but you also want to go to the pre and the post conventions, which one of them is the Hypnotic Marketing Mastery Workshop. It's not a lot of money, and it's 2 days of invaluable advice and guidance that's going to get you up and cooking for 2025. And in fact, the years ahead. That, my friends, is the presentation.
Amazing.
Fantastic stuff there, guys. Please show your appreciation with the applause emoji in the comment section. A few quick questions, Richard.
Yes, sir.
Jonathan Smith says, this offer, is this for everyone on this Zoom or for the class in Vegas?
This is for anybody that's watching this on Zoom right now, or on your Facebook group, wherever you're at right now. You don't have to go to the workshop to get those three bonuses. They're for anybody that is watching this video, but I'll probably pull that offer down after a couple of days. So if you don't come on the workshop in Vegas for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. You can still get the three bonuses, and there's no expectation on my end. It's So I have a team that does the marketing audits. They're really, really good. I was actually surprised when I got my own marketing audit that I had stuff I needed to fix. And so I got them fixed, and it's going to help me out. Obviously, getting a copy of the slides are a no-brainer, so you don't have to keep watching this video over and over again, trying to pause it on each slide. I'll just give you the download. And the marketing call, 15 minutes. Let's just have a marketing chat. I'm not going to mention anything about workshops because we won't have time. It'll just be a chat with what is one of the obstacles you're having a problem with, and how can I fix it for you? And I will do my level best to fix it. If it's a marketing challenge, I'll at least come out with some ideas. And if I can't fix it, I'll certainly know who can. So that would be that's my 3 bonuses that I'm offering for you guys.
Cool. Another question is, how would you encourage reviews?
You know, there's a whole strategy for that is quite a detailed subject. But one, business cards with a QR code on the back. Leave me a review.
Great idea. It's such a great idea.
I just posted a video about it today because you can do it in Canva. And I actually have the Canva template on how it all just fits nicely with a QR code into the back of a business card and that. I'm quite happy to share that template if you want to recreate it inside of Canva yourself. The QR code goes directly to my Google business profile. So when they scan it, so the idea is you're going to take all your business cards with you to a gig.
Yeah. And
you pass them out. And on the back, you know, when you're talking to people, you know what it's like after a show. People are blown away by your show, especially if you're doing, you know, a big show and everyone's loving it. Just pass these things out. And you just say, hey, while you're there, just turn the card over, quickly scan it with your phone. Do me a favor while we're right here, right now, just leave me a quick review because you're telling me you love the show. But, you know, the way I get rewarded is if you just, so they'll take out their phone, they'll scan the QR code, it will go straight to your Google page and they can leave you a review and your reviews will double. I've just ordered a whole stack of business cards. If you want to see the video on how to make it and how to create it, I have a YouTube channel, Hypnotic Marketing Mentor on YouTube. And the video got uploaded today. It's like a 10-minute video that's killer on how to do this.
Nice.
Awesome. Jonathan Smith says, do you have a list of platforms we should be on?
All of them. If it's social media, the one thing about social media, it's free, right? It's free media. Yeah. And I don't know if people understand this, but if you use all the platforms for free, what Facebook sneakily really wants you to do, same as TikTok and YouTube, is they really want you to advertise on their platforms. And they're only going to bring down the cost of the advertising if you're using the platform. So you'll see agencies do this. They're like power agencies that are promoting Facebook ads at only a penny a click. And this is because they're going to bring you into their ads platform and they're treated as a power sort of user. So the best way for us to do this is post loads of content on our business pages and YouTube and Instagram. Now, when it comes to advertise, the cost of our advertising goes down because after all, social media posting for free is great. But the ulterior motive of all these social media platforms isn't just to keep giving us free channels. It's to push us towards advertising. So we might as well make it cheaper. And you can do that by posting consistent content.
Fantastic. Loads of comments coming in saying thank you so much. Thank you, Richard from Cindyberg. Paulette says, thank you, Grant, Jim and Richard. Wow. Jonathan says, wow, you guys, thank you for supporting us like this. Paulette has set lots of bombs off. It's also, Jonathan says, I also tape a QR code to the door on the way out, linking to my Google review.
Smart.
Great.
You know what I do? You know what I do on the QR code side of things, right? There is a platform, Follow Up Spark. I'm going to throw that in there that will only allow reviews to be displayed if they are 4-star or higher. So just let that one sink in.
That's worth the price of admission right there.
It's a little bit like, so the reason why I wouldn't want to, and this is just me personally, the reason I don't want to do a big poster and a flyer and have it on a door is because when I'm passing out my business cards, I'm only going to pass them out to raving fans that are stood there after the show
Right.
going, oh my God, that was amazing. That was mind blowing. And I am going to go and find my volunteers and say, hey, how was the experience? Oh, it was unbelievable. Right. Get this, get your phone out. So I'm going to do it like that, just in case you're at an event with 100 people, somebody leaves and says, that asshole wasn't as good as the dueling pianos. And there they see it, leave me a big, and they might just get their phone out and just maliciously. Now there is software, Follow Up Spark, that will actually identify spam reviews and tag them to Google and get them taken off. But I'm always a little bit careful. And the other thing is too, is if my client, if I do a show and the client, because I always follow up with my clients after the show, I'm sure we all do that. What I do is I'll do a show like I did one on Saturday, and then on the Monday, I sent the booker a text, and it was for a country club, and the person replied with, "Oh my God, it was amazing! Oh, thank you so much. People are all talking about it. Sat by the pool area, all they're talking about is," and then I'll drop in the review on text to that person, rather than it just takes one or two bitter, horrible people to leave you bad reviews. And then you're fighting. so it's a strategy.
Yeah.
It's a strategy.
Awesome. Richard, absolutely amazing stuff.
No worries.
Yeah.
You got there.
Yeah, exactly. And Jonathan says, if you look at my bad reviews, it's all about the food, not the show.
You know what it's like? It's all experiential. Reputation management is what they call it. That within itself is I went on a 2-day class to learn reputation management. It's a 2-day, and I don't want to swing the lamp too much, but years ago, when Jim Wand was really active on the scene, rest in peace, Jim. There was a bunch of us that suffered some malicious reviews, and we had to band together. And what it was some idiot just didn't like hypnosis, a little bit like the person that was on your post the other day, Grant, where
Yeah.
So I got we all got like really bad reviews because this person decided it was against his religion and wanted to bash the crap out of us. And it took a long time to sort of fight those reviews. So having a software program that will fight it for you, I think, is even better. Because we spent a lot of time and energy, getting these reviews, malicious reviews, taken down. And I'm sure a lot of people listening to this and even on the replay has suffered with these malicious reviews, and it's a fact of doing business. But the more you can limit that. So I like to call it reputation management because it goes two ways, Yeah.
And so I just want to tell everybody, I've said this before, long before Richard was gonna speak at this conference, at this summit, do the workshop. I've always said that he's added value every single time I've gone to one of his classes. He's added value. I mean, the stuff you're sharing is just blowing me away, and I'm sure it is everybody else. So go check out. If you go to the link we put in there, that's not just the sales page. There's actually a bunch more helpful information in there. You can kind of go through some more marketing hacks over there too. So a lot of good content.
Yeah, there's a lot of free stuff on there. Like, in fact, other than signing up for a workshop and maybe one or two other things, it's all free in there. There's the growth hacks, there's the tips, there's the newsletters. So what I do with the newsletter, the hacks newsletter, every time I stumble across a new marketing strategy, I put it in an email and I blast it to all my subscribers on the list as a newsletter. So you might as well sign up for the newsletter if you just want to keep informed, because I know a lot of people don't have time to keep, looking up the marketing strategies that work. And for every marketing strategy I've just given you, there's another 20 that I tried and failed with. So I'm only giving you the ones that work. What you're not seeing is all those that fail, which of course there's loads of them. So it's, the newsletter is absolutely free, and in there you'll just get all the tips and tricks and stuff. And it's actually me writing the newsletter, every week, every few days, one goes out. So you might as well join that. And there's no cost for any of it, really. So what about the workshop? These guys need to get on that, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, super inexpensive, guys. Yeah. I mean, seriously, you book one show and you just paid for it easily. So, or even a couple of hypnotherapy clients. It's not just for stage hypnotist. It's also for hypnotherapists as well,
Yeah.
and anybody who's in business.
And if you think of how much value has just been given away in this, imagine what value is going to be given away in the actual kind of workshop. So you know what I mean. If you're not signing up for it, then what does that say about your business?
Yeah.
Invest in it.
Fantastic.
I will be there.
Yeah, Richard. Once again, thank you
No worries.
very much for this.
It's a
And
pleasure,
again,
everyone. And I look
cool.
forward to seeing everybody in Vegas for sure.
Yes, looking forward to
Thanks,
it.
everybody.
Take care. Bye bye.
Cheers.
See you, Richard.